I like Sneako a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
and I think he has potential. But like when he plays to sort of the Islamic audience,
Mm.
and then goes and does his shows with Myron and Zerka and
Mhm.
everybody else, and it's like, hey man, it's bitches and hoes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then when it's convenient, we move on to the Quran. Well, we're going to show up in whatever the outfit is, you
Yeah.
know, at the mosque. It's and I quite honestly, if I was Muslim, because
Yeah.
I wrote the religion book, and
Yeah.
took me 3 years to do that,
Yeah.
and I got a lot of friends in them. I have a Quran that was like hand given to me, like
Oh,
an
wow,
old
okay.
Quran, right? That was given to me. It was a
Yeah.
personal gift, because I had to have that to do my research for that book. It was the most researched book I ever did, and so when I see shit like that, I'm like, I'd be kind of offended.
No,
I would
facts.
be really. I mean,
The Muslims are, yeah.
yeah, you got to be, especially with Islam. Like Christianity is one thing, and I will
Mhm.
probably be offended the same way. But when people who are like trying to, it's like taking the Lord's name in vain, right?
Oh,
It's not about saying
absolutely.
"God damn it." It's about presuming to speak and say, "Here's what I'm saying, and this is what the Lord is saying too."
Yeah.
Right? It's the same. I get the same kind of vibe when people are like, "Now I'm about this. Now I'm about this religion. Now I'm about this ideology," even though I was never about that before. But then Rollo put this tweet out about vasectomies, and now they go, "Oh, hey, I'm a devout Muslim."
Yeah.
What?
Listen, right. So look, so like where like I seen it and I kind of like cringe, right? Was when you watch like the Myron and Sneako clip like back, right? And they were like, they weren't even talking about you or nothing else. And he kind of just like said, "Oh, now what about like that Rollo tweet?" Which is kind of like, okay, that was like premeditated to come on and introduce this conversation.
Oh yeah, the whole purpose of doing it was
Yeah,
for that. Yeah,
and
no,
I'm like, why would you do that? You know?
well, I mean, there's a lot of guys. I need better haters.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a lot of guys who will literally go on. I'm not even going to name names, but people know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about. But they'll go on shows that they know that I'm affiliated with, or
Mhm.
like like Saucecast, for example.
Yeah.
Like I helped Adam Sosnick, and he'll be the first one to tell you,
Mhm.
like if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be where we're at right
Yeah.
now. Will go on those shows knowing that I'm affiliated with those people, and they'll just wait till the end, and they'll go, "Yeah, so what do you got going on?" You're like, "Final thoughts. What do you think of the show? So and so." Yeah, fuck Rollo. I mean, that is like the whole reason for them to be on
Oh,
the show
shit, yeah.
is like, "Yeah, let me tell you what I'm doing." Yeah, fuck Rollo. Look dead ass at the cat. Fuck. That
Oh
guy.
man.
Yeah, and so it's like, dude, is that like, don't you have anything better to do? Like,
Yeah.
I hate to say touch grass, don't touch grass, but don't you have like other, like, remember what I was saying about like there's the ideas guys and then there's the
Yeah.
reactors
Facts.
guys? Why does that seem like you have a very finite amount of time on planet Earth? That, like, does this seem like a really productive use to like
Yeah.
to deal with your discontent creatively
Yes.
or not? So
Of course, but and do you feel like here, right? Because listen, right? Because after that though, like Sneako's entire like public perception got
Mhm.
switched, right? Now people like will say, "Oh my god, he's so logical now," and he even like went on his like Rumble stream and was like, "Oh, I think I'm a back out of the debate because right now I look really good. Like, why would I
yeah,
debate Rollo?"
well, no, so yeah, okay, so I'll tell you the story about
Yeah,
that. I was going to be myself, Mike Sartain, Destiny, and Sneako.
yeah.
And so I'm flying out there, and I'm on the Wi-Fi on the
Mhm.
plane. And Myron says, "Oh, Sneako's not going to be on the thing anymore." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Really?" Because I was like, "Damn, why?" Because he
Mhm.
was the one I wanted to talk to,
Yeah.
more than anything. And this was after I had already like been on their show. Like I did
Mhm.
I called in, I did a on StreamYard or something like that,
Yeah.
and did this thing. And people, "Oh, you couldn't tell us what a high value man was." Like, yeah, I'm doing that because I know in a week I'm going to be there, and I want to actually get you guys to the table, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? So I go out there and I do that, and I was kind of disappointed because he's like, "Oh no, Sneako doesn't want to do it now," and I was like, "Shit." So then I felt bad because it would be like me and Mike beating up on Destiny, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want that to I thought it would look bad.
Yeah.
And then later on, like literally like half an hour before we're supposed to do the show, then Myron says, "Oh, Sneako's back in." I'm like, "Oh, thank goodness," right?
Yeah.
But he's only in for half an hour or 45 minutes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why is that?" "Well, he's going to go do a show with Aiden Ross after
Yeah.
that," and I was like, "You're going to give up a show with me and Mike and Destiny
Yeah.
to go do?" And I'm not saying Aiden's, he's not chopped liver, but like,
Yeah.
why would you do that?
Yeah.
apparently he had done a video saying, "Well, I don't want to debate Rollo. He's just like clout jacking me." I'm like, dude, do you know who I am?
No,
And
no,
so,
facts, yeah.
but I was like, you back out, stay in, whatever you're going to do. But like, I want to be able to talk to him. So in the very beginning of that debate, talk, whatever you want to call it,
he was quiet though.
I knew he was going to be only there for like 30 or 40 minutes. So I focused everything I could on him because I wanted to talk to him specifically because I like Sneako, right?
Yeah.
And so if it seemed like I was like really intense with him, because I was trying to get everything within like 30 or 40 minutes. And we're playing to like 35,000 live views on that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you really want to leave this stream and go with all right, man, via con Dios.
No, with the right, and like he was quiet though, like due to strategy, because he said, I already look really good right now in the eyes of the public for going against Rollo.
Who's public though? Like his following or my following or Fresh and Fit's following? Like,
well, for example, right? There was like there was portions of the Red Pill who don't like Sneako because they felt as if he was like grifting, he didn't believe it, right? And then there's like the Album Preach crowd, right? So after he like went against you and he won over a significant amount of the Album Preach crowd, right? So now he felt like, yo, okay, right? Like folks now are off my bag. They think I'm logical now. Why would I go back to Rollo?
He probably and I get it. Yeah. He probably if he made a tactical error, it was putting out that video explaining why he wasn't going to. Right? Like I mean, and this is just me from a business sense. It's like, why would you do that? Like if you're not going to show up, like at the very least, I was laughing too because I was like, they on a previous stream they had said something to the effect of like, all these guys want to debate us. They suddenly get sick at the last minute. Kind of thing. I'm like, oh, did he get sick? And I was like using that, debate-itis or some shit like, oh, did he get debate-itis? And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But I was glad he showed up. I was glad he did because he was the main person I wanted to talk to.
Yeah, man. Now, okay, so like,
you got to remember, like, there's like I'll go on people like this is a really big show, okay? But I'll go and I'll do shows with like Logan, for example, and he's got like maybe 20,000 subs, if that.
Oh wow, really?
Or I'll go if somebody's like a come up. If I think I'm gonna have a good conversation with that person, I'm still gonna go do that show. I'm still gonna go talk to that person if I think there's gonna be some value. Or like if what is it in martial arts, like for instance, like the black belt can always learn something from the white belt, right? Even if it's just something, oh, I would have never thought of that. You're just like something that's just was instinctual with the white belt that the black belt can go, oh, that's great. I learned something from a white belt. Like there's that encouragement. Not that it happens all the time, but like if I can have a good conversation with somebody who's sort of like a come up, I'm still going to have that conversation with that person because my motivation to have that conversation is not so much based on like how many followers I'm going to get or how am I going to win over or how many like, subs am I going to get as a result of this. My purpose it always has been this way because when I was on the So Suave forums back in the day, remember I told you how like I would take those conversations, turn them into blog posts, and then they became chapters in my book. That's what I'm talking about. The book would not exist if I hadn't had that attitude back in the day to talk to people that I'm just like, I don't get any financial gain out of you, but I do get some intellectual gain, and maybe we can come to a consensus on something that we can turn into a bigger deal. I'll go talk to those guys, whether you have a 10,000 podcast or you have a 4 million sub podcast. So if it's a good conversation, like we're having a good conversation right now. So absolutely. I get something out of this, and I think the audience does too.
Of course.
So I get this quite a bit. People say, well, why are you talking to these dumb bitches? Why are you talking to this guy? That's a waste of your time, Rollo. Why? You're not going to convince Destiny of anything. You're going to change his fucking mind about anything. Like, that's not my point. My point is not to change. I know. Fuck, you think I'm there to change this guy's mind? I know that's not going to happen. But in the process where I'm having that conversation, if the people who are watching this say, you know what, I never thought about that before. That's what I'm after. I want people to equip people with a new idea. And if it takes me trying to have, talking to somebody that's like really is, violently opposed to me, somebody gets something out of it, then I actually win. Then I actually made creatively discontent, right? I've actually maybe created a new follower, but also helped somebody in the process.
All right, so you see it. We just hit 500K. You know what that means? That means you gotta subscribe and get us to 600K because we are dangerously close to 666K. Let's go.